Hello, what's going on, American Tears? My name is Michael Tomlinson. I am an American Tear. Today is September 27th, 2022. Everything's looking good, moving forward, enjoying life. Have a lot of things to do, so I'm sitting busy. Uh, I'm just, let's talk about truth for a moment here. Um, and, just bear with me. By not telling the truth, it becomes a part of our future. Let me say that again. By not telling the truth today, becomes part of our future, part of your future, part of my. If I'm not telling the truth, if you're not telling the truth, um, becomes the future now. When, if you, if we're being honest today, that won't become part of the future. It's today, and tomorrow will be the past, and so we'll just move on, with living in a world of being comfortable enough to be honest, to be okay to tell the truth. There's some people that just can't tell the truth for a lot of different reasons. One of them is that they just don't feel secure enough in their family life or work life or what relationship to tell the truth, or they just don't know how to tell the truth. They rather it's easier just to kind of manifest something to get through the day, thinking that that is just today and the now, and it becomes the past. But it doesn't. It becomes the future. Remember, we just said that. It becomes the future, your future. And that's just, if you do it all the time, it's going to be layer upon layer upon layer. And if you do it, if you're just honest daily, you have to, that's a lot of energy and effort, which will probably create a lot of stress and anxiety and start to come out in a really a sideway, anger, passive aggressive way of dealing with life, because you can say, God, like, I'm so unhappy because I've told, and the reason why is because I've told so many lies, or I've been so dishonest that I just can't deal with that burden in my mind or in my heart, on my back. And that's what happens. That's what I'm talking about. Just don't do it. I've lost friendships. I lost jobs, for my honesty. And I remember that those moments, that second when I was thinking like, oh, guy, this is it. Like, I really have to tell the truth, because if I don't, it could, and I've learned that I just better tell the truth. It's just better to do that as much as possible, as close to that as possible. Live it in the now and tell the truth. Makes life so much easier. But sometimes when I'm making that quick split second decision, when I'm speaking with someone, thinking, oh no, like, I'm just going to have to be honest here. And I am honest. I end up losing a friendship, or I end up losing a relationship. I end up losing a job, like I said, for being telling the truth or being honest. Now those are different cases. That's kind of like an extreme case, and so, because I could have taken the easy road and manifested some kind of complicated or not complicated lie, depending on the person, how they do it. So uh, just don't do it. I don't want it to be a part of your future. You're an American Tear. We're living in the new America. You're a new person. So, um, and we can just start that today. Just say, you know what? I'm just going to tell the truth and be honest, and see what happens. You know, uh, the one of the good things that we miss out on for being honest. So, because I was just talking about some things, bad things like losing friends or jobs and stuff. But the best thing that could, come out of it, which happens most of the time, is by being honest with someone else and ourselves, uh, kind of creates a harmony moment, I guess, but it creates a communication. That's what I should say, because by being dishonest, we're we're letting the other person that we're being dishonest to, that you can't like handle the truth, like you can't deal with it. So therefore, I'm not going to give you the truth. I'm going to give you part of the truth, or I'm going to, just twist and turn things around so where I don't even have to say anything at all. I could just kind of blame you for even asking me something. Um, but not only do you cheat yourself from the cool and a beautiful future from not doing it, but you also cheat that other person from the truth, and that's very damaging. People don't think that being dishonest with someone else is gonna damage them in some funky weird way, but you can, and it does. And because it's a process of deniability, it's unaccountability, and so believing or misleading someone with some dishonesty uh, is cheating them. Not only do you cheat yourself more than for not telling the truth, but you also cheat the other person by not letting them grow through it on their own. You cheat them from the whole experience. Period. You're like, oh, I can't. I'm not going to say or tell you the truth because I just don't want to or whatever. But it's that person has to now deal with your dishonesty or them being lied to, and if they find out, you're going to be caught, and now it's going to probably be toppled with another lie. So so why are you cheating other people from the experience of the truth? It's not up to you. Like, no one made you the truth guardian. uh, so if you're being honest with people around you, it gives them the opportunity to grow too. Does that make sense? To experience the truth and not have to hear a lie and then think of it as a lie or find out it's a lie of some sort of being dishonest. Um, there's so many different angles to this that I don't know where else to get. The truth is also, this is another thing that can happen as the years go by, and and like me, I've lived a life, and some of the chapters in my life were just so adverse, were just extreme. I walked through the valley of the shadow of death already. I have, gotten so close to the dark cesspool that people fall into for all kinds of reasons, and it is ugly. It is just, I don't wish that on anyone at all. And in fact, it just freaks me out that there is such a dark and blackened tar cesspool that eventually just takes people down physically, spiritually, mentally, and and to see it and to witness it is just off the hook. Valley, the shadow of death, and walking through that and watching people just literally be mean to each other and just chaos. Um, and so, well, my point being is that all that and those chapters doesn't, survival, you kind of did things you didn't want to do, like me, like when you're like living in the streets or something like that. You just kind of do things. Um, and when you're walking that road, and so by the time I got through it and out of that tour of duty, I really had to reflect back and write about it and start making amends because I had left a trail of wreckage along the way. And that's just what happens, when you're on that kind of journey. It's a crazy survival tactic that just doesn't make sense or makes all the sense at that time, but it really is once you once I got out of that gray world into the colorful world, I realized that I had to backtrack and make amends and to people, which I was okay with because I'd come to terms that I knew that what was going on and what I did, but I had no control in a lot of cases. It's kind of like I just had to do what I had to do to survive. Um, so, you know, so every once in a while, somebody may pop up from my past in one of those chapters and um, ask me to reveal some kind of truth. And I'll be more than happy to. I'm more than happy to face the consequences of my past. Whatever it may be, I've already accepted that. I know I was never 100% perfect through like a few of those chapters. So and I just had no control over myself. If I talk more about my past, you'll understand why, but we're not talking about that. So, if you're being confronted by the past because you're being dishonest um, back then and now, it's been 3, 5, 10 years later, and you accidentally slip and reveal the truth, and someone kind of catches you, say, "Hey, you said this, and now you're saying that," and then it's just come clean, just get it off your chest, get it off your back, just um, make amends the best way you know how, and hope that they, whether once you make amends, it's not up to you whether they accept it or not. Forgiveness is not your business once you ask for forgiveness. It's up to the individual. If they do it or not doesn't really matter. It's just the fact that you asked and that you acknowledge. That's all you have to do. It's not like not a big repent and pay some price for something. It's a simple request of knowing we did something wrong, and now it's up to the person whether they want to or not. And you just leave that result up to God. Leave it up to the universe to make that decision. It's not your business anymore. You've done what you could possibly do to make it right by making amends and saying you're sorry. And now it's just that's the cool thing. Now it's just kind of just off of that ball. You're not carrying it around anymore. You just tossed it over the net to the person and said, "You do what you want to do with this ball. You can toss it aside. You can toss it back. I don't care, because I've already said or did what I could do. I can't change the past, so all I can do is hopefully change the future by coming clean." So that's going to happen too from time to time. Be prepared for it. Don't be unprepared for it. Just be prepared to tell the truth or make amends or something. Don't hide back in the shadows of deception, manipulation, or lies. Just come out and say it. Or if you owe someone an amends from your things you've done in your past, just contact that person and let that person know, "Hey, man, I'm sorry that I messed with you." That's and I'm not saying because you need their approval. I'm saying this to you because it was going to help you grow as an individual. And as you move forward in life and pave your new road for the new person you're becoming right now, uh, that could you'll open up more room in your heart by letting go of the secrets. The secrets you don't want to keep secrets. And moving forward with some kind of enlightenment, some kind of truth. Um, the best thing, best way to say I'm sorry to the world. Um, in the end, if you can't just grasp the individual thing, is to actually change. If you're not going to change and you say, I'm sorry, I've changed, and you don't really change, that's not really saying I'm sorry. That's not really making amends. The best sorry or the best amends is if you get caught doing something bad, if you say you're sorry about something you did, just after that, don't ever repeat that mistake again. Don't think like, ooh, I just got away with it. I'll do it again next week, and I won't get caught then, because I'll know better. That is not a working solution, especially as A-mer-i-can-teer. That's just like living a very selfish or, evil life. And so, we're going to steer away from that and steer into a more productive life, and an enlightenment life. Um, it's a happier life. I mean, you can't, turn away from joy rather than say, I'd rather hate, than be happy or, just be okay. You don't have to be happy, like happy. You just be okay with life and sleep well and move forward. Be progressive with your life, being able to do the things you want to do or you need to do. So that's truth will lead us into all kinds of beautiful places to go. Don't ever use the truth as a weapon. Don't uh, use it to try to hurt someone. So if you did something bad to someone and now you just can't wait to tell them because you know it's going to hurt them, that's just evil. It doesn't have anything to do with the truth. That's just being very deceptive and manipulative and using what you think the truth is as a weapon, to hurt someone or someone shares something with you that's very personal and you want to weaponize that all of a sudden. That is just, well, that kind of thing is not the kind of truth I'm talking about. It's just uncool. You just don't do that. It's just, really, we're all adults. You just don't do that kind of stuff. It's just not good. It's not cool. It's not happening. It's not jazz fingers or anything. It's just weaponizing something to hurt someone. So don't take someone else's truth and weaponize it against them. That is just sad, And so, and if you're deceiving or manipulating or not telling the truth to someone today, man, I mean, the best way to do it, sorry to say this, is just rip that Band-Aid off. Just decide you're not going to do it anymore. You're just going to straight up let people know what's going on and people in your life, your relationships, or your coworkers, or your family, or whoever, your friends, whoever you may have really lied to or deceived or manipulated, and let them experience that truth so they can grow through it too, and both can go through it. If someone only tells me one side of the truth and expect me to act out or react toward someone else because they're like, I'm telling you right now, this is the truth. I'm smart enough to know that there are two sides, and I have to listen to the full story a couple of times sometimes with an individual to realize there's really a strong two sides, because the first and couple of versions they give me are just kind of like how they manipulate the truth, and then toward the end there, they start to reveal like what really happened in a sense, like more details, uh, and then that's what raises the question. It's like, oh, so you just really weren't telling me the truth the first time around. You're just now getting around to it, um, and so I my point to that story right now is just is that to understand that there's two sides, one and two, um, and so we can't really make any kind of harsh or quick judgments on a one-sided story when we haven't heard the second side or part two, I guess, um, or can grasp some kind of understanding. So be careful when people use that word and say, I'm telling you, it's the truth. I'm being completely honest with you about a certain individual or whatever, and convincing you that you need to dislike this person or hate this person because they're letting you, giving you something that that you don't have to question that other person on. I mean, you just need to accept their word as the truth. And if you ever get to the second side, you'll realize that it's not what you thought it was sometimes. And most of the time you find out it's not anything close to what you're thinking or what you thought you should believe in. And so beware, just be cautious of people trying to just spread hate or spread rumors. And spreading rumors is the worst. And I read it in a book, or I heard someone, I think I read it in a book. Rumors is like back in the 1700s or something, like when whoever was talking about rumors, um, said, rumors like going on top of the highest steeple in the village, opening up a, a pillow full of feathers, and then pouring them out, on like a breezy or windy day. Feathers just blow everywhere. That is a rumor. That's how rumors get started, and it just goes everywhere. And so that's why it's a bad thing. You don't want to start a rumor. You don't want to begin getting in that kind of dialogue, those conversations, because it's really just, it could be just the biggest lie ever, which it is, and you'll lose control, and eventually something bad is going to happen for that. And there's no way you can take back that rumor, because once you spread those feathers, and that's why he was describing it, is that if you had to go back down and collect all those feathers and put them back in a pillowcase, you probably couldn't get them all. You probably wouldn't be able to find them all. It would be near impossible. Like, it's or if you did, it would be one long, drawn out process. Uh, so other parts of telling the truth or being honest, and this is what's happened to me too, and even now or recent past. I mean, this is what happens to me. I tell the truth, and to people. I'm always being honest, and I notice that people are unacceptant of my truth. They don't think I'm being honest, so they'll start to interrogate me to like into thinking that they're going to catch me in my little like lie or suave movements, when I don't really have, I'm just laid it out on the table. I don't know what else to take away or add to it. But people will look at that and say, no, like exactly what happened, exactly what you say, and ask me like an attorney or in being interrogating me, looking for that lie so they can somehow say, look, I got you, I busted you, you're lying, you're a liar. And so that's why I have to completely avoid being dishonest or not telling the truth with people, because I get interrogated all the time by people who think I am. Now, these people that do this, it kind of freaks out my mind, because I'm thinking, like, why would they do that? Why can't they just accept truth the way I accept truth? Truth is just truth. Um, and because it's probably because they are such liars and dishonest people themselves that they think that everyone else around them is doing the exact same thing they're doing. And if they were interrogated, they would eventually get caught. So if they interrogate someone else, they think they can catch somebody and then start in after that with some bad things like, oh, I'm going to make you feel guilty, I'm going to shame you, I'm going to call your mom up and tell her that you're a liar or whatever it may be. So hence why I, I avoid it. And I hate it when people interrogate me on my truth. It drives me crazy. And I don't even know why they even bother. And I answer all those little crazy angles they try to come at me, tactics to somehow find the truth when there isn't really anything to find. So it makes me feel embarrassed for the person doing it, and also feel very kind of like dirty, for people doing that to me, because that's just not necessary, with me at least. And so you got to be careful with that too. If you are always telling the truth, is that you probably end up being questioned, because people are not used to the truth. So they'll sometimes just want to question or interrogate you, ask more questions, to see if they can't find the real truth. But if you're telling the truth to the very beginning, there is nothing to find. It isn't the future anymore. It's just what it is, and it's allowing that person, what I just said, to experience what they have to experience. And sometimes with me, it's more like a distrust of the truth, and which leads me to believe in their character somewhere they are not very trusting people, which is, they're probably being dishonest with themselves, being dishonest with people in society, and it could be on a daily or monthly, weekly basis that they feel okay doing it, and then feeling a little guilty for doing it, and who knows? I don't know much about how karma works, but if karma did work with that kind of stuff, you probably end up getting a little kick in the butt for being dishonest for something, and then when something happens, you're like, why is my day going so bad? It's probably because you're just a big bad liar, and hence why, you created your own dark circle, your own world by doing that. So that's why I'm saying, don't do it. Do not do it. Join the A-mer-i-can-teers. Be an A-mer-i-can-teer. Let's learn together on this journey to face the truth, at least, is what I'm trying to say. We don't have to become perfect overnight. And and we don't have to treat the truth and lies like it's some extreme judgmental thing either. We're all human. We can go through this experience together. It's not a taboo subject by no means. And if we treat it like it's taboo and avoid it, it is going to hurt everyone in society. Everyone. No one gets away, and so that's, and so paving a new road, becoming a new person, or joining the new America, in a sense, is that rewiring of knowing that it's safe. It's safe Safe, safe, safe. It's safe to tell the truth. It's safe to be honest, and in such a way that you're more than happy to do that. So if that's a problem, we need to get you to feel more secure and safe about who you are and who the society around you is. So that way you don't have to have fear of avoiding it. And so that's a excellent solution, excellent place to be for American Tears, and also a beautiful place to be in taking the first steps into a new life. And so let's do this, man. This is sounding good. It's sounding good to me, man. Bam. Let's hit it hard. Let's go punk rock. It's what's there to fear? We only live life once. Don't live it in fear. This is it. This is the end game. Do not live it in fear. Join me. Become strong. Let's grow. Let's kick butt. Let's face the truth. Let's, tackle the issues that need to be tackled in America. Start solving problems and come up with real solutions for all Americans in an honest way. That is just the best way of doing it. And so that's what I'm presenting to you. I'm putting that on the table as something for the future, something that's workable. You may have something new or something, you may have options outside of what I just said, and say, I'll pick option number 2 over here. And I doubt if you have any options. I'm the only thing on the table right now that's just laying it out and saying, these are the steps that we need to take. And I'm not saying you need to take. We need to take. We need to grow together. We're in this together. I'm not saying, we're apart. We're in this together. We'll help each other. We'll be okay with that. Alrighty. Well, thank you for your time. Have just a wonderful, wonderful day. Take care of yourself, and we'll talk later. Peace. Love. I love you. Out.